I am Ben the Learner, and welcome to the Diary of a Nobody, first episode. Why the Diary of a Nobody? Because I am a nobody. Obviously, nobody knows me. I have, 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel? So, obviously, I'm not a star of the internet. And also, I decided to name this podcast because of the Diary of a CEO from Stephen Bartlett, which is one of the most popular podcasts in the world. So Stephen Bartlett is a CEO, is an entrepreneur that started in the communication industry when he was very young, and then he attended this kind of program. I think it's the Dragon Den, where people are coming and then they're starting to pitch their business. And then he created this podcast. He was just talking to himself in the beginning, but he was already a CEO. It is not the same thing for me. I mean, I'm not a CEO. I'm a single guy, 44 years old, engineer. So I'm not an entrepreneur. In fact, I'm a very ordinary man. A very ordinary man that struggled for some topic in his life. Productivity, problem with procrastination, loss of time, loss of valuable time, loss of quality time. So obviously, there are things I can improve in my life. And why not doing a podcast? Why not doing a podcast in English, in French, in Vietnamese, and Chinese to practice languages? And why not having some crazy goals? Following a morning where I struggled a lot, where I sat down and I tried to imagine a set of rules that I should try to live my life according to, I came up with 6 rules that I called my contract. First of all, I wrote it with my Sharpie pen, but then after that I did an official version, and this version is here. And I signed it. So today, July 11th, these are the 6 rules of my contract. The first rule is, rule number 1, when I wake up, I shall avoid all distraction. In fact, no radio and musics, but only the music that I will have selected. My rule number 2 is that I shall start my day at the office at 7 a.m. My rule number 3, when I eat at home, I shall only eat the food that is on my dining table. Into parentheses, I shall not eat in front of my computer. Rule number 4, every time I watch a video on YouTube or my phone, I shall note what I learned about the video. Rule number 5, my place shall be clean at all time. And rule number 6, I shall go to bed at 10 p.m. Those rules seem crazy, but they are simple. And they seem also easy. But I can tell you, it's not the rule itself that is hard, and it's not doing the rule for one day that is hard. As a matter of fact, I could challenge anybody, and if I say, for instance, I'm going to give you money, you will go through those rules quite easily. The thing is to do them and to respect them continuously over the days, over the week, and I hope over the months. Those rules are designed to give me time and to give me quality of time. Because if I go to sleep at 10, I know that when I will wake up, I'll be more energized. So the first 2 rules are really related to help me to start my day more effectively. I had the tendency of listening to the radio, especially staying in my bed, and then I was arriving at work very late. Now I develop a set of music that is kind of my routine in the morning, but I don't listen to radio. I cannot do that anymore. It's a waste of time. Anyway, the news are always the same. People are complaining we pay too much taxes. There's always wars around the world. And unless it's very important, I can read on the internet in 5 minutes and still be updated on what happened. Now the other rule is to arrive at the office at 7 is important because I'm a morning person, and if I really want to plan my day in the office effectively, I discovered that it's far better for me to arrive early than to stay late. I prefer to go to the gym in the afternoon quite early. I don't want to finish too late, so I have to arrive in the office early. And anyway, every day I delay my departure, I just end up in the office more anxious, and people are already calling me and I don't have time to plan my day. The rule number 3 about eating on the dining table. It's because I want to have some consciousness about that time. I realize when I eat in front of my computer, I can eat too much and I waste too much time. And it's a bit related to the rule number 4. There are some days, in the weekend especially, I can stay in front of my computer and watching short video on YouTube for hours. But I have to stop that. Because although sometimes you don't want to do the things you need to do, well, you need to do the things you need to do to feel better. And rule number 5, to clean the thing at all time. I like when things are structured and ordered. And I realize that sometimes if I let the things go in the evening, then it gives me a reason in the morning to lose my time doing cleaning. But if I'm really thorough all the time, I will not have to waste that time. And finally, I explained it at the beginning. The rule number 6, to go to bed at 10, is to ensure that I'm gonna have a good night's sleep, because I wake up around 4:30, 5, whatever the time I go to bed. Those are 6 rules. But what happens if I break those rules? Well, this is not for no reason I put my name on this sheet. Because I can tell you, if I break one of those rules, there is 6 per day. In fact, 6. I'm gonna do a donation of $50 to a charity organization of my choice. And probably in the comments, eventually the people will be able to propose some charity association, organization, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fail some of those rules sometime. But the goal of this is to keep me accountable if I fail, and also accountable and to keep integrity, I would say, because I will have to determine if I fail the rule or not. I'm the only one that will know if I went to bed on time, and I will have to determine, okay, is it a failure or there are reasons for? Because of course, those rules, I wrote them some weeks or months ago, and I tested the concept and I discovered that sometimes it's tricky. But those scenarios, I will explain it later. So for those who are still listening, incredibly, I ask you to subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to that. YouTube, maybe Spotify, or maybe it's a clip on TikTok. So if you really watched until this moment, I think you're really interested. Now the next episode, or my objective with this podcast, would be to release an episode every month. That's my baseline objective. But maybe, yes, I would like to do every 2 weeks. And the reason why it can take a lot of time is because I'm not gonna do only in English. I'm doing it in French, which is my mother tongue, as you might have realized. But also I'm using this platform, this podcast, to practice my Vietnamese and Chinese. Basically, I'm just gonna read my podcast in the first episode. But it's really a mean for me to learn words in those foreign languages that are related to my daily life. So in the upcoming episode, I will explain how I'm navigating through those rules. Did I fail? Is it easy? What I will discover. And also, totally random subject about probably self-improvement, science, Not too much of politics because I have a job outside that, so I prefer to stay neutral in those debates. But yes, I'll try to find sub-topics to be able to do a 5 to 10 minute podcast. So again, subscribe if you're interested, and I wish you to always be learning something. That was the Diary of a Nobody by Ben the Learner.